Today on the channel, it's a training mission between the Grey Knights and the Dark Angels. All weapons are set to stun. The Dark Angels are not using one of their detachments. I mean, who does that? Seriously. All Dark Angels players are playing Gladius now and things like that. And Grey Knights. Grey Knights is one of the most requested requests that I get requested. Start trying out your Grey Knights. So today, I'm trying out the Grey Knights. So we have a lovely battle mat set up for you from gamemat.eu. All the pre-printed ruins that you see are from urbanmats.com, and there's lots of large line of sight blocking terrain all over the place. But there is some wide open fire angles here and there across the board. And we're going to be playing hammer and anvil deployment with linchpin. The way linchpin works is all the objectives are worth 3 points each. But if you hold on to your home objective, it's worth 3 points. The other objectives out there are worth 5 points. So 3 points, you hold on to your home, they're worth 5. We're also running swift action because battle line units that advance or fall back are still eligible to perform actions. And this one's going to really favour me because I've got a chunk of black battle line units. And we welcome back to the channel, Wraith Raider. Say hi, Wraith Raider.
Hi, Wraith Raider.
Now, you just come back from Throne of Skulls, where you played this list.
I did.
Throne of Skulls is one of the events that Games Workshop run at Warhammer World. Did you have fun?
Oh, it's brilliant fun. Such a fantastic venue, great players. Brilliant.
How many games?
So 5 games, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
What was your record?
4 wins, 1 loss. Yeah. And my loss was to the guy who went 5-1, or one of the guys went 5-0, sorry.
Okay, so nice. So at Throne of Skulls then, good fun thing, 1750 points, right?
So 1750 points, and using what we used to call the Highlander rules. So the rule of 1, there can only be 1.
Right.
As per the film, the only film, there was only ever one Highlander
film. There was only ever one Highlander film.
Obviously. So you can bring 1 of each data sheet unless it's battle line or dedicated transport, in which case you bring 3 battle line and then total 3 dedicated transport. Yes,
and I thought that's a really good idea. Let's show other people other ways to play, those who don't know about the Throne of Skulls thing. So rule of 1, unless battle line, have you got 1 of everything?
I've got 1 of everything, yeah. I've completely buy the rules.
Brilliant. I broke it a little bit because I've got 3 battle line units in 1 slot and 3 battle line units in another slot. Please forgive me. Learning Grey Knights. Try to minimise the number of data sheets.
Still well within the rules. 3 of each.
That's fine.
That's absolutely fine.
Have you been up against Grey Knights at all?
Yes, I lost.
Okay, so I'm already feeling confident. Let's check out these armies. So, rule of 1, very curious list here, but lots of flexibility, lots of manoeuvrability. 1750 on the nose.
Yep.
And you've got Oath of Moment, and it's Gladius Task Force, so that's the one with the Assault, Devastator, and Tactical Doctrine.
Yeah, lots of advancing all over the place, to shoot, charge, falling back.
You've got lots of fight firsts and things like that. Talk us through what you've got here.
So the idea was to try and bring some melee linchpins.
Right.
So the main one is the Deathwing Knights, because they're very, very hard to kill.
Yes.
2 up save, 4 Binvuln, 4 wounds, -1 damage. Little bit of mortal wound resistance with a little watcher.
Yes.
And they can rapid ingress for free if they land near their marker.
Okay.
So that's kind of the anvil.
Right.
And then the hammer are the Inner Circle Companions, who will be led by the Justiciar. And what they do is either 4 attacks with lethal, strength 6 -2/2.
Yep.
Or 5 attacks with sustain 2, strength 6 -2/1. So they pretty much kill what they touch. The Justiciar gives them fight first.
Nice.
And he also has precision, so he can take out leaders before you get to strike back.
So the Justiciar gives them fight first.
Fight first.
Okay, and then they're absolute blenders.
Absolute blenders. But because of the rule of 1, I couldn't bring more than 1 of each of those units.
So 1 of them, and then the Deathwing units. Are they getting led by anyone?
So they're getting led by the Terminate Librarian, who gives them sustained hits.
Yeah.
And thankfully, mortal wound protection versus psychic attacks.
Yes.
Of which, you've probably got quite a bit.
There's a lot of friendly fire psychic attacks coming in. We'd give you a mild migraine. We're not going to blow your brains out, just give you a migraine. But he might actually come in handy.
He'll come in handy, give us some protection.
Okay.
And then I thought, well, if I can't bring any more Deathwing Knights and I can't bring any more Inner Circle Companion,
yes,
I was tempted by Blade Guard.
Okay.
But I had to bring the Lion.
You had to bring the Lion.
He's a bit of a monster, literally. But although he's a monster, he can now breach ruins under the new data slate, so we can walk through walls.
Yes.
He's got fight first. He's got a big strength, big damage 4 attack, or a sweep profile.
And a 3-up invulnerable save.
3-up invulnerable save. He has a few different abilities, and the one I tend to use is he's got an aura of a feel no pain versus mortal wounds of a 4-up.
So that will help.
That helps protect against grenades and other psychic attacks, etc.
Yes.
In the backfield, actually, will be Asriel, and actually on Linchpin, that's not a bad choice anyway, because he'll be holding my home objective with some intercessors.
Right.
And what he does mainly is give me an extra CP every turn.
Okay.
Gladius loves strats.
Yes.
Very CP hungry.
Yes.
He allows me to use the strats that I need to use.
Armour of Contempt. The strat allows you to move if I move in close by. Lance, that one as well.
Yeah, Lance, and also there's what else is there? There's a few really, really good strats in Gladius. Oh no, that's the other one. I can put any unit into any doctrine.
Yes. Oh, that
So
one. Yeah.
so like the whole army might want to, for example, advance and charge.
Yes.
Whereas some might want to advance and shoot.
Yes.
So that's a really good strat.
Okay.
He's got his little watcher as well to give his unit mortal wound protection.
Okay.
One off. He blends in melee with -4 AP.
Well, he is Asriel.
He is Asriel. He also has a decent gun that's anti-infantry,
Yes.
of which you have quite a lot.
Yes.
Another fight first lady is the Calidus Assassin. She's recently been upgraded by the Imperial Agents book, and thankfully, since the tournament, not been up in points.
Okay.
So I can still bring her.
Yep.
Fight first, anti-infantry guns,
Yep.
precision, and her new rule is at the end of the fight phase, she can move d6 inches away, and as long as I roll a 3 to 6, she's far enough away that at the end of your turn I can pick her up, and then she comes back down.
Nice.
Next
So
turn.
fights first on her.
Fights first on her.
on the lion.
Yeah.
Fights first with the Judicia with that lot.
Yeah,
You said off camera he gave the Judicia Artificer armor as well, so he's got 2-up
Correct.
save, 5-up, feel no pain.
and the librarian has, I think it's the Honor Vehement,
Right.
which gives him an extra attack and strength,
Yes.
or an extra 2 attacks and 2 strength in one of the doctrines.
Soul
possibly
Doctrine,
tactical,
I
yeah,
think.
one
I've
of them.
run that one myself.
We can double check as it
Okay,
comes up.
so lots of fighting first. Punching, 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 punching. Holding the backfield.
Yeah.
And then we've got 2 little units of 5 dudes over here for scoring
Yes.
secondaries and things.
Exactly. So these guys, they are quite punchy in that the sergeant has a power fist, they're jump pack intercessors.
Yes.
They've got chain swords, a couple of plasma guns, but mainly they're for hopping about all over the place, doing secondaries.
Yes.
They do mortal wounds on the charge.
You said do.
Do. Oh, we're so mature here, aren't we? So they're quite handy at lots of things. The scouts, my little old-fashioned firstborn scouts.
Yep.
This little guy, do you remember Advanced Space Crusade?
I do.
That's where he's from.
Look at him. Ancient. Advanced Space
Not quite as
Crusade.
ancient as we are, but,
80s.
but kind of rebased.
Yeah.
On base extenders, so they're the current right size.
Well, talking about base extenders, look at this. The whole lot.
Oh, nice.
All of my Grey Knights. And they're all going to be, like, invalid in a year's time when the Codex comes
When
out.
they're primaricified, yeah. Now their main job, they can sort of screen the middle, they can scout, move, but again, they've got mechanic. At the end of your turn, they can pop up and then come back down somewhere else to do some secondaries.
Okay.
Lancer,
Yes.
I thought you need some long range anti-tank because everyone brings tanks.
Yes.
Right, anyway, moving on. The Eradicators, now, again, really good solid anti-tank unit, but also quite tough. Toughness 6, 3 wounds.
Yes.
They go with the Biologist, Apothecary Biologist. Now, you'd think he would give like a feel no pain or bring a model back.
No.
No, gives lethal hits.
Yes.
He also has, I think, OC3,
Yeah.
and if he kills somebody,
Yeah.
or a unit, sorry, he goes up to OC9.
Crazy.
Which last weekend I managed to do. I managed to get the killing blow with him on a unit.
Nice.
Had an OC9 dude hanging about.
But lethal hits and eradicators. And
Lethal hits, and he's got fire discipline enhancement, which also gives sustained hits.
So lethal and sustained.
Lethal
on
and
sixes.
sustained on 6s, and in the Devastator Doctrine, that becomes on 5s.
Lethal and sustained on 5s.
And what they do is reroll all hits, wounds, and damage versus vehicles.
I've got
So,
one vehicle.
You got one.
Yeah, not a lot of
Yeah.
anti-tank for your tank to tank, but one vehicle for you to shoot at.
But they're quite good into Terminators as well.
So nasty shooting, scoring, and then punching.
Yeah, it's almost like I designed it that way.
It's a 4-on-1 Throne of Skulls list. Let's take a look at the Grey Knights. So here it is. First time in 10th edition. I've been running the Grey Knights and I really wanted to stick Drago in it, but you know how the points are 100 points for this or 110 for that. I couldn't find room for Drago. I have got Grandmaster Voldus though, so that makes me happy. 1750 on the nose. We've both got +1 internet points. Grey Knights, what do? They have Teleport Shunt. So everything with the Deep Strike ability, and that's everything you can see, when it advances, you don't roll, they just move 6 and they gain the fly keyword. So they're able to zip around all over the place. And then they have the Teleport Assault ability, which is at the end of my opponent's turn. As long as they're not in engagement range, I think, you can pick them up and then drop them back in my turn. There's also a strat, like the Gladiator Strike Force has got a strat, which means you can move if you get within 9 inches of them. The Grey Knights have a strat, which is you can pick them up and put them in Deep Strike when you get within 9 inches of them. So lots of movement shenanigans to score secondaries, to score primaries. Lots of picking up shenanigans and dropping back down again. The killing potential is all in close combat. However, not a lot of range. Not a lot of anti-tank at range at all. So we have Voldus. What he does is gives a unit -1 to hit in close combat and melee. So I've got a big unit of 10 Terminators there with a banner, which gets their OC up, and with an Apothecary with an Arthesium, which means I can put models back in the command phase, and they're going to be -1 to hit. And they're kind of like the anvil around which the rest of the force will rotate. And then there's a Librarian who's got Vortex of Doom, which is the scariest mortal wound bomb in the game. If I roll a 1, I take D6 mortals myself, but on a 6, 2 D6 mortals on an enemy unit is crazy. And he'll be rocking around with a unit of 5 Terminators, and then I've got another unit of 5 Terminators, and their battle line, and their battle line. And then we've got 3 strike squads as well, which are also battle line. They have Scout 6 inches, and yeah, they're there to zip forward, advance, do all the secondaries things. All the weapons you see in Grey Knights now have all changed. Instead of having different rules for hammers and falchions and things, they're all psychic force weapons. They're all strength 6, -2 damage. So they want to chop in melee. Got a squad of Purgators over here with 4 side cannons in. These guys can shoot indirectly, so long as the target they're shooting at is being seen by another Grey Knight Psyker unit, which is everything I've got. So if this one can see a unit, then they can shoot at them. The range is only 24 inches, of course, but indirect at -1 AP will be AP dash. They're there to sit at a backfield objective and be a pain. And then I had to bring along a Dread Knight because it's Grey Knights. It's an iconic unit. This thing can advance, fall back, shoot, charge, do all the things. It's advancing all the times, shooting all the times, falling back all the times, things like that. And as it's the only vehicle, I'm going to need to keep it away from the Gladiator and the Eradicators who really want to target it. But at least it can't be tied up in close combat. So that's 1750 points of mobile warfare. I think the way to run Grey Knights competitively is as many Terminators as you can get your hands on, and every single one of them you stick Narthesians in, and you stick the Flamers in wherever you can. So you're never rolling to hit, you just roll into wound, and their Flamers are strength 6. Because then you could also bring 6 units of Terminators zipping around all over the place with Drago, with some serious punch. I'm not sure Dread Knights would be the tournament way to go because they're such a target. And then back range Daka, long range Daka from somewhere, I don't know where. These guys are going to struggle against tanks and things, but you only brought one of them. Anyway, let's go on to deployment. We're deployed for this 2,000 point training mission. The only thing that is in reserve is a unit of Deathwing Knights. I decided not to stick anything in reserve because I can pick them up again if I need to, which is why some units are quite far back, such as this one and the Nemesis Dread Knight and the unit with the Librarian in. And looking down the central street, the only thing that Wraith Raider put down there was the Lion. And then there's a jolly large tank on this side of the battlefield. Why did I say jolly large? Where did that come from? No idea. And the Eradicators with all the lethal hits on this side. They've only got 18-inch range, but with Devastator Doctrine, they could change that to Assault and move forward. And then when the Devastator Doctrine's in effect, they get lethal and sustained on 5s, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So that's quite nasty, particularly if you spend a CP on it every single turn. So they're not all the way up at the 18-inch deployment. That's Voldus and the Banner and the Narthesium there. But something's got to stop the Lion. And right and left is where your big guns are. So they're right in the middle of the street. And then you've put the Judicea and the... Who are they again?
So they're the Inner Circle Companions.
They're down below. But we'll put them up there because it's really hard to get on. Yeah. And then Azrael's back here holding on to the home field objective. Your CP farm. There's the jumpy dudes. There's the tank. And there's some scouts somewhere floating around.
Scouts hiding over there, infiltrating. My little assassin.
There's the assassin.
With a 12-inch bubble in the middle.
What's the bubble do again?
So any strats you use cost an extra CP with 12 inches of her.
That's great. I love it. So you've got something to get more CP and something to make my strats more expensive.
Yeah.
And she's lone operative and everything.
She's lone operative.
So
Lions are lone operative within 3 inches of Marines.
So what you're saying is deep strike within range of her, shoot her, get rid of that CP thing.
I won't do that.
Loads of guns into her at some point. Yeah, but we're set up. We're ready to go. I've got some scout moves. You've got some scout moves. But you figure out who scouts after you figure out who goes first. So let's grab a dice. I need a dice. 1 minute. After you, sir. Nice Dark Angels dice there. That's a 5. That's a big number.
It is.
I've rolled a 1.
Don't want to go first.
Don't you?
No.
Well, you're going first. It's Dark Angels turn 1. Dark Angels going first. They ought to get 2 CP. Because Azrael thinks, marked for death. I pick 3 units that you have to kill. You're going first. I'm going to pick 3 in the backfield. That will be impossible to kill. But extend battle lines should be relatively easy to get because you can hold your home 1 and 1 in no man's land quite easily in turn 1. And here we are at the very end of the Dark Angel's turn. We're at the end of the Dark Angel's turn because no guns in range or line of sight.
Told you I want to go first.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to go first. You did mark up the big chunky unit in the middle, just in case there is some kind of combat, and you didn't declare a doctrine yet. I typically don't do doctrines in turn 1 advanced Devastator or thingy bobs.
He needs to be within 3.
He needs to be within 3 of him. Yep, because he gets lone operative so long as he's within 3 of an infantry unit.
Yeah.
What he did do is advance onto the central one, advance onto this one, advance onto that one. You're on all of the objectives everywhere while Azrael chills back here with the jumpy dudes and with a unit of intercessors. So that'll be 5 points for extend battle lines. We're going to Grey Knights turn 1. Oh yes, one more thing. Thanks for reminding me. I needed reminding straight away in turn 1. I can pick up 3 units. Now we're going to Grey Knights turn 1. And I've got a couple of actions to do in turn 1 which would normally make me cringe. But Grey Knights are the kings of movement and actions, allegedly. We'll see. Recover assets. I need to do basically an action in every zone. My zone, the enemy zone, and in no man's land. If I do that, I get 6 points. And sabotage an item of terrain. And if I do that again in my enemy zone, that's worth quite a lot of points as well. So let's see with some movement if I'm able to pull this off. Sorry, Wraith Raider, that took some time.
Grey Knights always do. Always do.
First time playing with them and everything. I love the manoeuvrability. It means for recovering assets that the Purgation's got 24-inch range with the side cannons. I'm not in range, can't see anything, can't shoot anything. So they'll do 1 action. And then these guys advance forward, they're going to do another action because swift action, battle line units that advance and fall back can still do actions. So they're doing the other action, and then I deep struck in one of the units of Terminators over here, and they're recovering assets as well. That's the one with the Librarian in. So at the end of my turn, I'm going to get 6 points. And his psychic attack, because they can't shoot, but the psychic attack from the Librarian has got line of sight and range down into Azrael's unit, but he's got a once per battle 4-up feel no pain to all the mortal wounds. So I might decide to drop the bomb down on the assault intercessors instead, because I also put the Dreadnought in over here to shoot them, which does leave the Dreadnought open to the shots from the Valiant here.
Lancer.
The Lancer
but
could shoot back again.
You didn't put in my Eradicator for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, over here it would have been lovely.
Over here would have been absolutely terrible. You pop the Devastator Doctrine, you advance them. Even if I put them behind this thing, you could advance them into the ruin and then lethal and sustained hits, and that's a dead Wraith Knight in turn 2. Didn't want that happening. But we are recovering assets all over the place. We're also sabotaging here with this unit, and they need to live until the end of your next turn, which is why this unit are strung out, and that's the unit that's -1 to hit, and that's why they stayed back a little bit. So doing actions right and left and all over the place. Haven't got much shooting going on, but you did declare some Overwatch, because the other thing I did is, I could jump a unit straight up the table into 1 minute. You're going to get points for the middle one. I spent CP, prognosticated arrival. You can deep strike within 9, but not within 3, and they can't charge.
But now I can't get to Terminators.
Now you can't get to my Terminators. I've got a line all the way along here, keeping the Terminators alive. And the other thing is, you would have ended up with 5, 10, 15 on the primary, plus the 3 for the linchpin objective down it. Now you're not getting any.
Well, I might.
You might.
Give me an Overwatch over here.
Overwatching Eradicators versus... Because why are you Overwatching? Because it's 6s to hit.
6 is the hit, but 6 is also lethal and sustained. 8 dice.
Yes.
Plus the Apothecary I'll do in a moment.
Yes.
So just the 1. So
One
that's
6.
lethal and sustained. So
Okay.
sustain goes through.
And wounds.
And then -4.
Right, no save against that.
D6 plus 2 damage. So that's 2 dead.
2 are dead.
You get a save. You get 2 up armor save.
No, they're just normal Grey Knights.
Normal Grey Knights get 2 up armor saves.
Do they? What?
Yeah.
What the hell? They have a 2-up... what? No wonder why they're so expensive. Okay, let's roll 2 6s. Coming up. Keep them alive. No 6s. 2 are dead.
Here comes the big gun in the Apothecary.
Okay. Negative. I've taken 2 away. Leave the other 3 there. Stopping you scoring, stopping you scoring, stopping you scoring, pushing back, doing lots of actions. The only thing, because they advance, they can't shoot. They could shoot. They can shoot the lion. We're right there. Let's shoot the lion. Lots of Stormbolters in rapid fire range. It's on 3s. Lots of 6s to hit, but I need 6s to wound. Here's a primer. No 6s. I spent all my 6s on hitting.
You're only going to piss them off, you know that, right?
Yeah. Please don't be too upset, Mr. Lion. This is just a training exercise. There were blanks. Right, so shooting some other things. Let's kill Dante and the squad.
Dante?
Sorry, not Dante. Azrael and the squad of intercessors here, shooting the Nemesis Dread Knight in. So the Gatling Silencer has 12 shots. 3s to hit. It's strength 6. 3s to wound.
3 ups?
Yep. I take 1 out.
Oh, no.
And then the heavy side cannon, which hits on 3s. There's 3 once. It's strength 10 and it's -2 ignores cover, according to the latest balanced data slate. So that is 2 wounds, which need invulnerable saves.
4 up and vuln for the unit.
That's what Azrael does.
Ooh.
So I killed 2 with the Nemesis Dread Knight. I think that was... I've seen better. Okay, now we're going to go on to the Brotherhood Librarian. That unit is currently doing an action, but Vortex of Doom is not a shooting attack.
Just roll a 1.
I don't want to roll a 1. We're not going to roll a 1. It's not going to happen. We're going to roll a fat 6. We roll a 1. We roll a 1, and that means that unit suffers D6 mortal wounds. And then I roll my 5.
You'll
Brilliant.
be pleased to know, because they're mortal wounds and they're psychic attacks, you
Yes.
do get your feel no pain.
I do get a feel no pain. First time on the channel. He hasn't warmed up yet.
Always happens.
4 up, feel no... Right, okay. One of the Terminators goes down to 1 wound remaining, and I think that is the end of my turn. So at the end of turn 1, for the Grey Knights, I get 6 points versus the 5 that the Dark Angels have got. And in Dark Angels, turn 1, they'll pick up 3 points for just holding on to this objective down here because I've zoned out the other objectives. Like I said, this unit, the big, chonky unit of 10 Terminators, just needs to survive till the end of my next turn, to the end of Wraith Raider's turn, to pick up some more points for me as well, as we go into Dark Angel's turn 2. So as the training exercise continues, the Dark Angels want to get behind enemy lines and start defending their stronghold. So in the Dark Angels movement phase, because you drew defend stronghold, the jumpy intercessors down here, which were thinking about flying out, or maybe Azrael, because he's a beast in close combat, leaving that. Everyone's instead hunkering up on this objective down here. As for behind, and that's start defending the stronghold. If you're still holding on to it at the end of my turn, you get your points. As for behind enemy lines, you picked up the unit of scouts and you picked up the Claudius Assassin, and you've dropped them down here, and that will be 4 VP for behind enemy lines. Over here, the Sword Brethren push forward. They're going to cleave away that unit. That strike team right there, and then there's the tank which can shoot forward or backwards. It's got heavy, so it stayed still. Talking about heavy and staying still, you stay still with this squad as well down here. So they got heavy. I don't think those strike team right in front of me are long for this world. At least the Terminators over there are hidden behind that crate. And then as for Oath of Moment, it is the team back here. With the Librarian in, who took a wound last turn, and then the last thing that happened is the Lion moved forward, because there was another team right in the front that upset him.
Where'd they go?
Well, I shot him, he got very upset, came charging for us, so I spent a CP again on Mists of Demon, the one that allows you to pick, basically, in your one, you've got a thing that if I get in range of you, you can move.
Tactically withdraw to a more advantageous position.
I've got that one as well. But for Grey Knights, if the unit has Deep Strike, you can pick them up and put them back into Strategic Reserve. So basically, anything in the Grey Knight list which has got legs, you can do that. But Dreadnoughts, tanks, Land Raiders, they can't do that. The strike team are now... They dropped in, they shot him, did no damage. They disappeared again.
And because nothing was engaged, you were really close, no doctrines again. I didn't feel the need for one.
Okay, holding on to your Tactical Devastator and Neon. Right, let's shoot some guns. Start off with the 3 remaining intercessors with Azrael, who stay still, shooting at the Terminators through
Azrael first, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 6s are sustained. So of course I don't get any, but I can re-roll.
Okay, Oath of Moment.
These are anti-infantry 4 with devastating wounds.
Okay.
So that'll be 2 lots of 2.
2 lots of devastating wounds. AP.
Devastating wounds that go straight through.
Yes.
So that will kill 1, but 2 wounds on another one.
2 damage a time. Nice.
Yes. So intercessors are going to shoot. The brown one is the crack grenade from the grenade launcher.
Okay. You all hit all the times.
And that's sustained.
Wounding on 5 is grenade wounds on a 3 though.
It might be you got cover, haven't you? So yeah.
So
2 up save and 3 up save.
2 up save. Damn it. 3 up save. Damn it, didn't save any of them, and it's D3 for the grenade launcher.
So 1 dice for the normal guy, the grenade launcher does 2.
Overperforming. You've already taken out a couple of Terminators. Here's the pistols on the dudes.
Those ones are plasma, and they are going to overcharge.
Okay.
And re-roll for Oath of Moment.
Yes. Okay, so 3 hits in the end.
1 plasma, so 5s and 3
again. So 2 up saves.
No, they didn't wound. So you're okay?
Okay, good, because I failed to save there.
That one's your invuln.
That one's an invuln. I make my invuln, and then hazardous checks. Don't roll any 1s. You don't roll any 1s. We're moving across to the tank. The big gun is going into the Dread Knight. The little guns into the Terminators. Here's the big guns.
So hitting on 2s, I can re-roll 1 hit dice.
That's also Oath of Moment.
Which is good. Oh, and it's Oath of Moment.
Oh no,
the Dread Knight isn't.
The Dread Knight isn't.
So I actually still miss with 1 anyway.
Brilliant.
It's Strength Bajillion, so wins on 3s, I think.
And that's a 1.
And I can re-roll 1 wound with it.
Okay, and that's a wound. It's also AP Bajillion.
Yeah.
So 4 up and vulnerable save. If you say so, I'll take it. And that's a 4 up and vulnerable save.
This is a combination of the little guns, because they've all got the same profile, into the Terminators, but they are the Oath of Moment. And they'll wound on 5s.
And that is 3 wounds. Watch me roll a bunch of 1s again. I roll a 1 again. That's another dead Terminator. There's only 2 Terminators remaining along with the Librarian. Oh no. So I've already lost a chunk of Terminators. Now we're on to the inner circle dudes, the Knights. They're going to charge the unit right in front, but they've got extra shots which can go through and hit my Terminators in the backfield, which are -1 to hit.
So the brown one is the Justiciar.
Okay.
You've got a character in the unit?
There is a character in that unit,
+1 to hit. They're still hitting on 3s.
Okay. 5s and 4s to wound. So those are full-on Terminator saves.
So they're -1, but you've got cover.
Yes, and then that one.
Also
the Justiciar one.
2.
I rolled
-1.
I rolled a 1 anyway. How much?
2 damage.
Nice. Then we came over here with this lethal hit storm shooting at 3 strike teams with multi-melter. I mean, they're dead.
It wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close. The Lioner hasn't got any more shots because I picked up that unit. So that's the end of the shooting phase. Killed an entire strike team. Killed 3 Terminators. Now you're charging over here with the sword dude knight things.
I think they'll make it.
I think that they're in. And the inner circle companions make the charge. Now we fight.
3s, and these are lethal.
3s to hit with lethal.
Oh, 6 wounding on 3s.
Yes. This is before the GDC needs to fight.
Correct.
I need 12 4-up saves. Yeah, 2 damage a time. They're gone. And that's the end of Dark Angel's turn 2. They get the maximum points for behind enemy lines here and push me off of all the objectives I pushed them off of. I'm going to pick up 3 points for this one in my turn, plus 3 points for sabotaging this one at the end of this turn, while you continue to defend the stronghold over here. So let's add up all these points and go on to Grey Knights.
And speaking of picking up...
I've got to pick up some things. Yes, thanks for reminding me. I need to pick up some things. It's 12 points each. The Grey Knights get marked for death and they want to storm a hostile objective. Here we are at the end of the moon phase. Lots of shenanigans again. I picked up Voldus and his unit because they were getting nailed and they're the Oath of Moment target. I've dropped them in back here to deal with some of this stuff back here. The assassin, the things, she makes my CPs more expensive. I'm not going to roll a 1 on Vortex of Doom. She's dead. That should be good. And the guys can shoot the team. And also the Purgators could shoot the team. And I spent that CP to drop in this unit in the middle to take that objective off the Lion one more time. But we're talking about movement shenanigans. Once I've done that, you did have your teleport homer here. So the Deathwing Knights have dropped in behind me.
Couldn't use the teleport homer because you were too close, so I did have to spend a CP to do it.
Okay, so that's rapid ingress, dropping in there because it's linchpin and you want to take me off my home objective down here. And suddenly there's loads of Terminators behind me, which is incredibly scary. You don't like that. So that's what happened there. As for Mark for Death, you mark the ones in the middle. You mark the big Toughness 6 squad with all the things. You mark the Lion, who isn't going to die. And then you mark the unit of Knights here, who have got fight first and are all over this objective. But I've already stormed the hostile objective with the Terminators. And if I kill them, that's my Mark for Death points. They don't have an invulnerable save.
Nope.
But fights first is going to be a little bit scary. So we'll see how we get on with that. I can at least shoot them first because this unit just moved forward. And then I'll put a couple of units back here to stop you defending your stronghold. I advanced with the Nemesis Dread Knight and I rolled a fat 6. And they can advance, shoot, fall back, charge. They're very, very quick. We're going to put some pressure down here. And then this unit was over there. Deep struck in over here, and they're going to lay some firepower in as well.
Very confusing.
So it's I'm trying to get...
It's in the night, isn't it? It's like jump up, jump down.
Jump up, but jump down. Jump. Yeah, so I'm trying to stop you holding your objective. You're trying to stop me hold my objective. We're floating around all over the place. I've only killed 2 intercessors so far, so I really need to turn it on. So let's turn it on over here
by rolling a 1.
By putting Vortex of Doom on her while the guys shoot the scouts. Okay? Didn't roll a 1. This is 2d3 mortal wounds. She's got 4. She's got no save against this.
Nothing.
And I do just 2 mortal wounds. She's still alive. Damn it. But at least I should be able to nuke those scouts with all the Stormbolters hitting on 3s and
4s. It's still tough as 4.
Wounding on 4s. And they have a 4-up save, right?
Yep.
4-up saves. I take out 2. It looks like I'm going to have to charge him. So let's go on to the indirect fire squad of Purgators. This is a Mark for Death unit.
Correct.
So I can see you with this unit, which means I can fire some shots in.
Yeah, -2, but it doesn't stack.
Yeah.
So 4s.
4s to hit with all the side cannons. Only hit 5 times, but at least it's strength 8, and I do 4 wounds, -1, but that's if you're in cover plus indirect fire. So a chunk of 3-up saves, and that's 2 damage.
Oof.
So one of them's down to 1 wound, so let's unload all these Terminators into them. Many shots with Stormbolters, but -1 to hit. So it is 4s. And then 4s again. 8 more, 3-up saves. 1 damage a time.
Oh, you got 1.
I just killed that injured. Yeah, okay. A couple of side cannons in that squad as well, but you are in cover. And these hit on 4s because of the minuses. These are wound on 2s. And that is only one more wound, one more 3-up save, and that's a couple of wounds. And then Baldus, I need to check if he's got a different weapon. He's just got standard Stormbolter. I should have done him at the same time. 2 more hits.
Does he not hit on 3s though? Does he hit on 2s normally?
He does hit on 2s. So
hits.
that one hit. That one hit. Yeah, okay, so I shouldn't have done them at the same time. I do 2 more wounds, and you're good. So I've killed 1. Got 1 down to 1 wound. Okay. Makes me feel a little bit better about this Fights First unit when I go flying in there. More shots. Do I shoot the lion? I feel like if I shoot the lion... 1 minute, you're in the ruin. So this unit can shoot you.
Correct.
So let's pour it on. 4s again, lots of Stormbolters. And 4s to wound. That's quite a few wounds, look. That's 7 wounds.
7.
And 1's on a wound. Surely I've got him.
Easy.
I've got him. What was that?
They don't like being shot at.
No. They've only got a 3-up save and stuff.
Come and get in, and then we'll see what happens.
We're going to get in a minute. We're going to get in a minute. First, we're coming over here where you're defending the stronghold. So this unit firing through the trees into Az's unit. Is any of them injured yet?
Nope.
As it gets... Yeah, let's keep shooting. I could shoot the intercessors. This Az's unit. I've started, so I'll finish. Bajillion Stormbolter shots. These are hitting on 3s this time because... No, take that out. That was 1 before I knocked it over.
Yep.
4s to wound the humble intercessor, and that is only 4 wounds. 4 3-up saves. I'll take one out anyway, and there is a side cannon in that squad, which hits all the times, wounds on 2s. It would be -1, but I'm firing through trees, and you're good. You've got 2 guys left. 1's on a wound with Az, so if these guys shoot that squad, and then he comes charging in, but then I can still pile on to the objective is the thing. So yeah, let's keep pouring on to Az's squad, I think, while I've got him reeling. Hitting on 3s. This is the heavy Gatling gun from the Nemesis Dread Knight, which wounds on 3s and has no AP. So that's 5 saves. 5 more, 3-up saves.
Come on.
Okay, that
Sergeant
injured.
dies.
Right, and then we keep pouring it on. Here is the heavy side cannon, which ignores cover. Hits on 3s, wounds on 3s, minus something. Okay, just 4 up and vulnerable saves. And it is 3 damage a time. That will kill the last intercessor.
Put Az down to 3 wounds.
Just 3 wounds. It starts off with 6. What a G. And I think that's the end of the shooting phase. So we will charge. We will attempt to charge with the Nemesis Dread Knight to charge them, kill a bunch, end up consolidating onto the objective. We charge 5 inches. I think I'm within 6. Then the Terminators want to try and make the charge as well. We're going only into that unit. I don't want to bring Az into the fight just yet because I just want to stop you scoring that objective. 9-inch charge on the Terminators. And that's the Snake Eyes. They don't charge. Talking about Terminators that want to charge into the Inner Circle Companions. Did I get it right?
You did, yeah.
I did.
I think it's about 3.
It looks quite short. 4.
Easy.
At the end of the charge phase, we make it here. Interestingly, the 4-inch charge kind of saved me because if I had a longer charge, I'd have to engage. You have to get in base with every model that you can. And I'd end up over there, which would be within 6 inches of the lion. And then heroic intervention would have been very painful.
And you can go through walls now.
Yeah, you can go through walls. So we are here. We're fighting first here with the Judicea and the Companions. 1 minute. Got another charge over here with the Librarian into the Scouts. That's a failed charge. So we're on to the fight phase. All your weapons are AP -2, right?
Yes.
So I can spend a CP on True Silver Armour.
Yes, you can.
And make them AP -1. Let's do that. Let's start out with the Judicea, right?
Would be hitting on 2s,
Yeah.
-1, hitting on 3s.
Okay, that's 2
6s do absolutely nothing.
Right. Strength.
7s are 3s, 6s are dev.
There's a dev wound. How much damage?
So I'm 2, so I'm going to assign all of these to your character.
Right. So Voldus takes 2 wounds straight off the bat. And they're AP minus...
2 becomes -1.
So 3-up saves.
Correct.
He takes 4 wounds in total. He's got 6 left. He's still alive. 6 left, 2 left. Starts on 6. 2 left. Took 4. That's math. Yes. Right, let's do the other dudes.
I did the sweep profile.
Yes.
So you've got a lead. I forgot to. So you are +1 to hit because you've got a leader. Never mind.
Okay.
So +1 to hits are counted as your -1 to hits. Hitting on 3s, but 6s explode twice.
Right. There's some explosions.
A dice wounding on 3s.
Grab your dice. 3 up saves, 1 damage a time. One of them was wounded, so he gets taken out, and another one's injured. 2 and a bit. So I've got 8 left. All the attacks are piling in. All the attacks all the time. I've tagged the tank as well into your dudes. Your armor of contempting it. And then at the start of the fight phase, when Grand Master Voldus is selected to fight, you select one enemy unit within engagement range and roll a d6, adding 2 to the result if it's a demon. It's not a demon. 1 doesn't do anything, but on a 4 to 5 it would have done some things. Mortal wounds. Now we fight. Voldus has a really big hammer. And he's hitting on 2s. You're -1 to hit, so he's hitting on 3s. And he hits 4 times. It is strength 10.
Oh, that's going to be 2s then.
So he's wounding on 2s. That is only 2 wounds, and it is only -2, which becomes -1.
4 whips.
And he tanks them.
Easy.
Awesome. All the rest now. Many attacks. Hitting on 4s. 6s are lethal because they made a charge. And we have 3s to wound. And -2 becomes -1. 12 4 up saves. 2 damage a time.
2 damage a time.
Yeah, and one was injured already.
One was injured. Okay, so that's him dead. Another one dead. Another one dead. And 1 injured.
I didn't kill him. I didn't get my marked for death unit. Sorry, 1 wasn't injured. Didn't kill my marked for death unit though, but there is 1 left with the Judaseer now. We'll do the fight back with the tank. And that was quick. Tank did nothing. And then we come over here, because I had another charging unit. We have Nemesis Dread Knight versus Assault Marines. Probably not going to kill him because I failed the charge with the second unit of Terminators. But anyway, let's do the overhand swing with the great big Nemesis Dread Sword thing. And I hit 4 times. This will wound on 2s. I wound 4 times.
5 up saves.
You make 2 of them. And it's d6 damage a time. So the first one, I just killed 1. I
Yeah.
just killed 1. Which means I'm not going to stop you defending that stronghold. And they get to fight back.
So the brown ones are the power fists.
Okay, 3s to hit. And those power fists wound on 4s, the rest on 6s?
Correct.
Nice. Oh,
Brilliant.
nothing. And so at the end of that turn, I've just upset Dante by wiping out the unit around him. Azrael, why am I saying Dante, my brain? You do defend your stronghold. And in your turn, you'll get 3 points for holding onto this one. And 5 points for holding onto that one.
You do storm a hostile objective.
I've stormed over here. I haven't done my mark for death over here. And one last thing, the scouts go back up into strategic reserve at the end of my turn, along with the little assassin. And then we're about to go into Dark Angel's turn 3, where there's some Deathwing Knights over here, which are going to pressure down towards my objective. We've got the Lion. He's very angry. He hasn't been able to swing in this big practice cage yet. At least I've tagged up the tank. But the Space Marines haven't popped Tactical Devastator or Assault yet. Wraith Raider's got access to all of his doctrines. As we go into Dark Angels turn 3. The Dark Angels are on 24 points when they add on the primaries. I'm on 16. It's still very close. And they want to bring it down, get rid of that Dread Knight, and sabotage a terrain feature somewhere. So in the movement phase, we've got the Assassin dropping in here, and also your Deathwing Knights moved round. Now, one thing you can do with Mr. Demos is instead of picking them up and putting them in reserve, you can move up to 6. It's not a d6, just move. So move these fellas back, because I don't want your Deathwing Knights charging them. It was a 4-inch charge. I've turned it into a 10-inch charge, and of course her charge would be a 9-inch charge.
Had
Try
I
and
got
get
to
there.
First, it would have cost you an extra CP.
Yes. Yes. Well, you drop at the end of the movement phase
Good
anyway,
point, good
so
point.
that's a thing. So anyway, I'm trying to make the charge as long as possible to hold on to my linchpin objectives. But while you were doing that, beforehand, down in the middle, before you even move them, you said the Lion isn't moving this turn. He's just standing there because you were thinking that I could pick them up.
Yep.
So he just stood there and growled at them in his lion-y voice. You have popped Tactical Doctrine this time to allow you to fall back and charge, because on this flank the Judaseer and the Brethren, the Knights, they've fallen back, and the tank has fallen back, and they're looking at all the Terminators over here. Also over here, the Assault Intercessors, They fell back, and then there's Dante and the scouts and
Dante?
all of them. No, Azrael. I don't know why I keep saying Dante. My brain. And you've got to bring it down, and it's the Oath of Moment target, Nemesis Dread Knights. Uninjured so far, but Azrael.
Can he do it?
Can he do it? And then over here, they're sabotaging. They didn't have any shots or things, so they're doing your sabotage objectives. And to be fair, they should be there at the end of my turn as well, and that should get you lots of points.
It was tempting to put them in a doctrine, advance in this way, guarantee the kill on the Dread Knight.
Yes.
But then I didn't really have anyone else who could survive a sabotage. Maybe the Lion could have moved in, then he comes off the objective.
Yes. Or you could have dropped the scouts in there to sabotage, but you need to do it at the end of my turn, and then I'd have dropped in there and nuked them.
So it was a case of this is almost guaranteed points because I can't see you killing this unit.
I can't see me killing it either.
This is near, maybe. I've got some scouts, I've got a missile launcher, so that's going to do it.
Okay. Well, do you want to start here with the Oath of Moment target?
Well, should we do the missile launcher?
Should we do the missile launcher? It's definitely going to work.
Missile launcher, and then the brown ones are pistols.
Yes.
So the missile launcher sitting on 4s, everything else on 3s, re-rolling.
For Oath of Moment. And the missile hits.
Ooh.
It hits.
So the missile is going to wound toughness 8?
Yeah.
So 3s, the others on 6s.
Okay.
Look at that, -2 and -1.
Alright. So a 2-up save. I'm good. And then a 4-up invulnerable save versus the missile.
That's not good.
There we go.
Oh no, it's normal pistol, you are right.
Yeah.
You are right.
We're good.
Here comes Azrael with his...
Not Dante.
Not Dante.
Yeah.
Here comes not Dante.
Right. 2s.
Reroll. I was going to fish for 6s, but he's no longer sustained. He's no longer leading a unit.
Okay.
But he does hit all the times.
Right.
I believe it's strength 8, but I'll double check. So I believe that's 2.
It is strength 8 versus toughness 8. -3, 2 damage. I need 4-up invulnerable saves again. I take 2 damage.
Nice.
And then you've got the assault intercessors with all their heavy bolt pistols firing in.
Overcharging the plasma. Is one dead? One's dead.
One dead.
So
So
the
it's 2
plasma
and 2.
is the brown dice.
Okay. With Oath of Moment.
Ugh.
One of the plasmas misses. And then 6s and 2s. So the 2 6s wound with and they're 3-up saves because they're heavy bolt pistols. We'll re-roll that because you said it earlier. No, one takes a wound, and then this is a 4-up
No, it
invulnerable
doesn't wound,
save.
does it? Strength 9, toughness 8, so it needs 3s, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, okay. And 2 hazardous checks. Don't roll any ones. You roll a 1.
I'm going to CP re-roll that one.
Okay. You don't roll a 1. The Nemesis Dread Knight is down to 11 wounds remaining, ready to face the charge when you do some charges.
I was kind of hoping for a bit better than that, but
Yes.
Azrael will do it.
Azrael will do it. He'll probably do it. Dante would definitely do it if he was here.
He probably would. Plasma pistol from the Lion, or possibly, who knows, Liebman Russ?
Yeah.
Or was he
Sanguinius into the strike team, hits once.
one hit? It does wound. It's -3, 2 damage, so 5s.
One's dead. Then we came over here. The Knights fired at the Grey Knights. No wounds caused. So now we're onto the tank, and here's the big gun of doom.
Hitting on 3s, but I can re-roll one of these.
Okay. Well, they both hit anyway.
Wounding on 2s, I can re-roll one of these.
Here's the reroll. It does wound.
-4, so you're on your invulns.
4-up invulnerable saves. I fail them both.
2 dead.
It's 2 dead. It's much damage, big wow. Then he fired the piddly guns in off the tanks, and of course I rolled Snake Eyes on the save, so one of those Terminators drops down to a 1 wound remaining, and that's it for the shooting phase, because these guys can't really see anything and don't want to shoot the strike team, just in case it makes the charge longer. And the Assassin doesn't want to shoot anyone, just in case it makes the charge longer. So he killed a couple of Terminators, and now we're charging. Starting with the Deafening Knight, you need a 10 to charge.
I moved 5, you moved 6 away, and I was 9, so it must be a 10.
And that's a
I'm
6.
going to CP re-roll that one. This is an important charge.
Okay.
Oh!
That's a 10. They make the charge. Don't think they're long for this world now. Let's see if the Assassin can get in there as well. And that's a 12. Right, you're definitely all over my linchpin objective. The Lion, basically don't roll Snake Eyes and you're good. He's good. And are you sending the Judicia in again in this thing?
No.
You're not. You're just staying there for now.
Let me think about that one. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Let's start over here with Azrael. Still makes it.
He makes it on a 3. He's fine.
These guys do multiple wounds on the charge.
Snake
Still
Eyes
make it.
will still get you in there. And a 9-inch charge from Scouts if you want to
Of course.
throw them in as well.
Of course.
Okay.
No.
No, that's a 3. So successful charges almost everywhere.
4 ups and mortal wounds.
On the charge. There's a
1.
mortal wound on the Nemesis Dread Knight on the charge. Then down here with the Knights versus the big Grey Knight squad, you decided to charge in. Because if you just stood there, I'd have shot and blown them away anyway, and you have fights first, and the Judiceer has precision hits. So trying to take out my character before they die. Minuses to hit, pluses to hit.
Yeah, I remember this
the
time.
The Judiceer's hitting on
2s.
And
that's a 1. I don't think 6s do anything, but they do on the wound roll.
And that's a devastating wound and kills them outright, right?
So no, you take devastating wound last, so you get to save first.
Okay, which I do.
And then the devastating wound kills him.
Yeah. The bolus is gone, you're doing the sweep attack. Because 6s don't do anything yet.
They do.
Oh yeah,
double
sustained,
explode.
double explode. And there's a guy on a wound. Try to take the wound off.
Wounding on 5s. Oh, just the 1, but it's -2.
And you kill the injured fella. So 5 Terminators remain along with them. We're coming across to the Lion now on the charge. Bajillion attacks.
8 on big attacks.
Hits on 2s. He drops
6s
one of them.
are lethal.
Okay.
Wounding on 2s, strength 82 million. Oh, only 5.
5 came through, only 5, but it's AP 4 damage. I need 6s. I make 1 6. How many did I have? You shot 1, right?
Yeah, you got 4 left.
Wipe the squad. Going from the Lion down here to the Deathwing Knights versus the Purgation squad.
So they do need to pile in.
Yep.
So they're all base, and then there's 4 guys at the back hitting on 2s.
Brilliant. And 6s are lethal because there's a Libby.
No, they're sustained.
Sustained.
Because there's a Libby.
Okay.
They do wound on 3s.
Okay. AP 2 damage. A lot of 4-up saves. You only kill 3 so far. There's still 2 remaining.
Let's do the Sergeant. He misses once. He wounds twice and gets a devastating wound.
Okay, 2 damage a time.
2 damage a time.
And those AP on them.
2 as well.
So 4-up saves. That's the squad. Cleared away my linchpin objective. The Knights jump back onto that objective with the Assassin. Then we come all the way over here to the fight versus the Bring It Down Oath of Moment target. Who we start off with first?
Azrael.
Okay, Calgar swings and he
now,
hits.
had he been leading a unit,
yes,
that would have been lots of sustained.
Right.
But it's not.
Okay.
Strength's only 6, so you just have dev wounds. So 5 to wound, 6 is a dev. Nothing.
Oh, Calgar bounces.
And
now
then
the Assault Intercessors.
All Sword Brethren, or whatever you want to call them. The brown one's the Power Fist.
Okay, re-rolling for Oath. Here we are after Oath, winning on 6s, browns on 4s.
Wow.
2 wounds?
Wow.
Just 2 wounds. There's chainswords though, so it's AP -1, right?
Yep.
And I make both of the saves anyway.
Brilliant.
Okay, so you haven't taken down your Oath of Moment target. Then he gets to fight, and I have a choice between Dante and all those dudes. I guess I'm going for Azrael. We're going for Azrael. I'm hitting him on 2s. I rolled 3 1s.
The dice are like mine.
I'm wounding him on 2s. At least I wound him both of the times. Invulnerable saves.
I might CP one of these.
You fail them both.
What's his damage?
D6 damage. He's got 3 left.
I'm going to CP 1.
Okay. It doesn't help you.
2 1s, please.
2d6 damage. And that is 7 damage.
He's a bit squashed.
Calgar falls. Then we come back over here to the fight with the Terminators versus your Judiceer's unit. I'm hitting on 4s because of Judiceer things. Winning on 3s, but your armour are contempted again. Got a chunk of 6s there, but no lethal hits because I didn't charge. 3s to wound. 6 4-up saves.
Easy peasy.
2 damage a time.
Oh, look at that.
I didn't kill any. And that's the end of Dark Angel's turn 2, and you're keeping Bring It Down in your hand for now, because you need to kill the Dread Knight at some point. At the end of your turn, I can't pick him up either, because I'm in engagement range of stuff. But I could pick up this unit. Probably going to pick up the Librarian's unit down here. And you've started sabotaging, which will be worth 3 points if they're still alive at the end of my turn, and they almost certainly will be. So you don't pick up anything on the secondaries, but what you do...
Do-do. You said do-do.
I said do-do. Is push me off the linchpin objective. So I'm only going to get 3 CP for holding on to this one over here. As we go on to Grey Knights, turn 3. So it's 19 to 24, I'm 5 behind. I need to assassinate a thing and cleanse a thing. So in the movement phase, I did pick up my librarian's unit and his dudes, but they've ended up dropping right back in where they started because they want to assassinate that assassin on 2 wounds remaining.
She's going to Overwatch.
She's going to Overwatch.
And look, I even bought special Imperial Agents dice.
Nice, okay.
D6 shots.
3 shots.
Wounding on... So it's anti-infantry 2+, so wounding on 2s.
Also hit, do they?
There you are, it's a flamer.
Okay.
So it's -2, 1 damage.
-2, 1 damage, so 4 up saves. One of them takes 2 wounds. So that happens. Not dead yet. We'll assassinate her in a minute. As for cleansing objectives, we're not doing any of that anywhere. Potentially, 1 minute, the Dread Knight could cleanse. He has the ability to fall back, shoot and charge. But no, he can't cleanse because the new rules for Pariah Nexuses is if you do a fall back move, you can't cleanse. So he's not cleansing.
What about swift action?
He's just moved back. He's not a battle line unit.
They are.
So they can't fall back, shoot and charge. But they could fall back and do a thing over here and cleanse this. Do I want to do that? I do want to do that. Points make prizes.
You do.
Plus you've got fight first. And plus I'll put another Terminator back in because things. What are the things? Oh yeah, Narthesium. That's the thing. They're a battle line unit with swift action, so can fall back and do actions. So I'm doing my cleanse, doing some assassinations. We're around here to kill all of them and stop you getting your home objective. But let's start by assassinating over here in the shooting phase. I'm not going to roll a 1 and I'm going to hit your Claudius Assassin, okay? I don't roll a 1.
2d3?
2d3, she's on 2 wounds remaining. She's dead.
That's assassinate.
Cool. And then we'll shoot loads of pistols. Well, shoot loads of Stormbolters into the Deathwing Knights who have a 2-up save. So we shot loads of bullets, didn't do anything. That's the end of the shoots down there. Let's come back all the way over here. Surely my Grey Knights have got this in close combat. What I should do instead is shoot loads of guns at some scouts. Let's shoot lots of guns at some scouts. The Nemesis Dread Knight is going to shoot everything at the scouts. We're hitting on 3s with a heavy side cannon and 4 of them hit. We are strength 10. 4 of them wound at -2, 3 damage.
That's lots of 6-ups.
Lots of 6s.
Oh, no.
Right, they're dead. And then the Gatling P silencer went in and riddled their corpses while the Terminators over here unload everything into the Assault Marines. And here's a normal side cannon which misses. And then it's Stormbolter time, which wound on 4s. There's loads of 6s again, which don't do anything.
Wow.
Yeah, 7 3-up saves. 1 damage a time.
6, that was a 3 in there.
Was it?
Yeah.
6 3-up saves, 1 damage a time. I take out 2 of them.
Wow.
I think that's the end of my shooting phase as well. So we're going to charge with the Dread Knight. We're going to charge with the Terminators. Everyone gets in there. The end of the charge phase looks like this. All of these guys versus 2 Assault Intercessors. Let's fight. And we wipe out the dudes. We consolidate onto the objective. And we've assassinated. And we've stopped you defending your stronghold a turn too late.
But
yeah.
Can we swap linchpins?
With-
Can I have that as my linchpin?
You want that one?
You have that as your linchpin?
And I'll have this one. Yeah, because, well, look, I've cleansed over here, and you're going to get 3 6 points, yeah, because we're stalling each other's linchpins with all the jumping around all over the place. But the Dark Angels have managed to successfully sabotage this objective down here, so let's add up all the points again and go on to Dark Angels turn 4. 1 minute. Before we go on to Dark Angels turn 4, it's interesting to note that we're both on 26 points at the end of turn 3. I've got 6 on the primaries, you've got 11 on the primaries. You're going to get another 6 more. But you don't have any battle line units left. And then I've got a strat thing, a secret mission thing, which, I mean, we might as well tell everyone because you know what it is. I know what it is, so we'll tell everyone what it is, which is if you have no battle line units left at the end of the game, right? Mm-hmm. And I have battle line units in your deployment zone, mm-hmm. I get 20 points. And I got battle line units for days.
So do you remember that game I played against Grey Knights and I lost?
Yeah,
that's exactly what he did.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is that what he? Yeah. I think I might copy that and
so all I need to do is kill all your battle line units,
which is pretty much everything I've got except for the Dread Knight. So you pick up 6 points on the primary. You got Bring It Down still, which is the Nemesis Dread Knight, and Assassinate, and I've still got a Librarian kicking around. So, lots of things happened there, because you did your Advance and Charge Doctrine, and then you spent a CP on Advance and Shoot with the boys over here, because you need to bring it down. But it's going to be 2 points for Bring It Down, and 5 points for Assassinate, the last character I have, which was the Librarian. which was over here. So I did the Mr. Demos thing, and he's gone.
Again.
He's gone. He disappeared. He was there. He's gone. He appeared. He sidekicked your assassin, and poof, he's like that. He was gone. He's the Wizard of Oz. Over here, then, advancing and charging is a thing. So the Lion came this way, the Judas Seer and the last thing came this way. I think it's an 8 and a 9-inch charge. You oathed or momented up the Terminators on the home objective. And by advancing and shooting with this one, with the strap, which is tactical something or other, you've got two multi-melters and a gun in range that can see the Nemesis Dreadnought, try and soften him up and hopefully not fail the charge from the Lion while staying on that objective over there.
Well, the hope is to kill him.
Right.
And have the Lion charge the Terminators.
Which are even further away.
Yes.
But you've been making 12-inch charges like a boss. So let's go on to the shooting phase. There's some really big guns looking at this Dreadnought.
So the multi-melters are the white ones. They're hitting on 4s. The other one hitting on a 3. But
yes.
I get 4 rerolls because you're a vehicle.
Yes. And then 6s are lethal and sustained.
5s and 6s because it's Devastator Doctrine.
Yes. Okay.
That wasn't too good, but 2 sustained go back in.
Yes.
Wounding on 3s, but I can re-roll.
Because I'm a vehicle. So 4 wounds come through. AP really
4,
high.
Yeah.
So 4 invulnerable saves coming up. Or this is going to be... I've still got 10 wounds remaining. He's got a chance. Particularly when he makes every single save. I think I'm due some, so that was quite nice.
No, fair enough.
Tank versus Terminators. One more time.
It hasn't moved, so hitting on 2s.
Yes.
Wounding on 2s. I can re-roll a wound.
So 2 wounds, 2 invulnerable saves coming up. I make both of them as well. Or do all the little piddly guns off camera. Piddly guns took off a wound, of course it does. Then we measured up from the librarian over here, and I am in 24-inch range. And you can see, so you're doing a focused witch fire.
6 shots.
Nice. 3s to hit.
Wounding on 3s, and I think these are devastating. They are.
Okay. So there's 2 devastating.
So 1 wound at -2, but you got loads of cover.
That helps me.
And then 2 lots of D3. So 1's on 2 wounds.
Yes. And he's dead.
And the other one, also dead.
2 dead. And the hazardous check. We're doing the focus thing and you're good. And there's a Stormbolter as well. And the Stormbolter bounced and there's only 4 Terminators left. Killed by psychic attacks. Psychic on psychic action here. They'll be chatting. The Grey Knights will be talking to this librarian at the end of this training exercise saying, hey guys, have you ever considered secondment? Have you ever considered silver armour? It's much better than that flashy blue armour you've got. Come and join us on Titan. The weather's lovely. That's the end of the shooting phase. We've got some charges, starting off with...
the Lion.
Okay. He rolled a 5.
He re-rolls that with a CP. Yeah, I've got plenty. He makes it.
That's
a
a
9.
9-inch charge. He comes flying in there.
I think I might need an 8 or a 9, but I'll check.
Judas Seer.
Definitely not a 6.
Don't make the charge. So it's Lion versus a Nemesis Dreadnought. 10 wounds to get through, 4 damage attacks. He hits on 2s. And he drops 1 of them? It isn't the Oath of Moment target.
Lethal.
Okay.
No, I was hoping he would die, so he
Yeah.
would go into them and get the reroll, but no.
3s to hit. Oh dear.
Oh, I'm gonna CP.
Last
reroll one of
CP you
those.
got? Okay, that's 5.
5.
You did 5. 4 damage each. 4 up and vulnerable saves. You need 3 of these to come through to kill him. So
well, you're rolling
if
at
I
the
make
moment.
3, well, I feel like he made all of his saves, so I'm probably going to fail all the saves. I'll probably hexed it now.
Oh.
You don't kill him. He's down to 2 wounds remaining. Does he degrade when he fights back? It does degrade, which is weird because I know it's a vehicle, but it's a weird sort of vehicle.
Yeah, anyway, it's a baby carrier more than anything. He's only young.
It's not. He's like, it's 100. He's been to thousands of battles across thousands of. He's not baby. He's my Grey Knight. I like him. I like this one in particular. He's the first Nemesis Dreadnought. I made that one on release, you know.
Oh.
Like, I bought that on the release thing, stuck him together.
How long ago was that? Grey Knights?
I was old. I'm old. 3s. 6th edition, I think. I hit him. I hit the Lion 3 times.
Strength.
10 with the overhand swing.
3s then.
I win him 3 times.
So I just need to make 3 up invulns.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
What with my dice?
You failed 2 of them and you've already done a CP reroll.
I have.
How many wounds has he got?
10.
Does he half damage? Does
Nope.
he do it? Does he feel no pain, anything?
Nothing at all.
2d6 damage, so he's saying there's a chance. Lionel Johnson falls. It is a training exercise, though. Maybe he hasn't done his Pilates this morning. That's 9 wounds on the lion. He's not dead. He's got 1 wound remaining. That means, at the end of turn 4, you didn't bring it down. And you didn't assassinate. Didn't pick up any points on the secondaries again. And I'm going to pick up 6 points for being on these 2 objectives. I'm going to add another Terminator back in, because that's what Anathesium does as we go on to Grey Knight's turn 4. Wraith Raider.
Yep.
Is literally 32 points each. How did we get here? I don't know. With so few models left. I got behind enemy lines, and guess what? I've got a couple of units behind enemy lines. And establish a locus, which is the old deployed teleport Homer thingy-me-jig. So 32 points each, and apart from the Terminators that are chilling on this objective here, I don't want to come charging off of it. I'm not interested in that tank. What they've done is they've hide in a little bit, so that psychic vortex of stuff from your librarian can't hit them. They've decided to stay there. I could string across and get onto that objective as well, but that opens up me to lots of shooting and charging and things. And right now, Wraith Raider made a mistake by moving off of that objective there and hungrily going after my librarian.
Should have done is move them like that.
Yeah, and still tag that objective. But mistakes
Mistakes
were
were
made.
made.
And you don't want to see. You don't want to take it back. You're like, it's got to burn.
Oh, no.
It's got to hurt. You got to learn from it. So you're a nice opponent. I like you.
Oh, thank you.
You can come back anytime. And you've been helping me out behind the camera as well with all the rules and things.
Not true.
He only spat in my face once. In fact, the only objective that you're going to be holding on to is this one over here. He didn't spit in my face. It's a lovely mushroom. Then down here, I got behind enemy lines, established locus and things, and I had to pull my Dread Knight back from the fight with the lion, because you have fights first and defenders fight first, and you'd have killed him.
Yep.
So you spent a point on squad tactics and zipped back out of the way.
All the 6, went through the wall, and then...
So I deep struck in here.
You're going to roll a 1.
I'm not going to roll a 1. I've got Vortex of Doom. We will Vortex of Doom and send the lion back to the canteen for tea and biscuits. And I'm also behind enemy lines, and this unit is establishing a locus and didn't move either, because as soon as I moved, your lethal hits, sustained hits, nastiness from all the multi-melters would have lit them up, and they're still over the moment.
Say tactics.
Tactics. Big tactics. So let's open up with the shooting phase.
Roll a 1.
With me not rolling a 1 and taking the lion out. This isn't a Vortex of Doom, by the way. It's like if he manages to get the spell off, he teleports him to the canteen. Okay? So back for tea and biscuits with the lion. I don't roll a 1. That's 2d3 mortal wounds.
I've got protection.
He's got protection.
Always bring protection.
He's got 4 mortal wounds.
Easy. 4 4-ups.
Right.
I've got a CP.
Maybe he really wants the biscuits. He doesn't.
I'm going to CP it.
Okay.
He's
alive.
Look at that.
I'm going to have to shoot him with Stormbolters now. Doesn't want the tea and biscuits. Okay, so let's shoot him with Stormbolters. 2 of them hit. I need a 6. I get a wound. A 2-up save. Oh, he's still
Wasn't worried at all.
hanging in there. The Dread Knight can't shoot at anything because I'm behind the ruin, so I can't see you through the ruin. I made sure I'm not in the terrain piece because big tank of doom and stuff. They're doing an action, so they can't do anything. We've got some Stormbolters over here that are going to tickle out and hit that fella, this unit. Let's start off with the side cannon. One's on 2 wounds remaining. I hit once. A wound. 3-up save. Oh, he's gone. And then some Stormbolters. On 3s. And then 4s. And that is 6 wounds into the Judicea. This might sting him a little bit.
I'll to piss up armour. He's fine.
It doesn't sting him at all. And that is the end of my turn 4. With all these guys back here, I pick up 4 for establishing a locus back here. And I also pick up 4 behind enemy lines. And the Dark Angels are only going to pick up 3 for being on this objective at the start of turn 5. Let's find out what their objectives are. 40 points to the Grey Knights, 35 to the Dark Angels. They got no prisoners. They want to kill as much as possible. Still got bring it down. Yeah. Well, bring it down. Take out that Dread Knight on a couple of wounds, plus no prisoners. He's worth a lot of points right now. So you're in the Devastator Doctrine. It was the only one left, but you did spend a ZP on the Knights down here, so they can advance and charge, and they're just 12 inches away. It's an 11-inch charge to engage my Terminators.
Yeah, you've got me thinking a lot, because you're just moving all over the place. I've got my melee unit right at the back.
Yeah.
I haven't really done much, apart from take away your linchpin.
Yes. And then talk about this, because you did a lot of not moving here.
Because I've had Bring It Down in my hand, it feels like since turn 1.
Right.
If either of these two move, you're just going to pick him up to
the Judiceer or the Lion.
Yeah. These guys, although I could advance, because I'm in the Devastator Doctrine, I kind of want the charge as a fallback option in case I don't kill something.
And again, you don't want to get within 9, because then I'll just pick it up again.
Pick it up again.
I got 3 CPs.
I need to kill stuff.
Yeah.
Now the Lion, if he successfully charges there, and I can stick him there.
Yeah.
I could put a few shots that way, a few shots that way.
Yeah.
The Judicia makes it in. He can attack first.
Yeah.
If he finishes it off, then all the Lions' attacks can go into them. These guys, shoot them. Maybe charge that way.
Dude, it's so much movement warfare, this game, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the Gladius Doctrine in effect, and with Grey Knights, it's been scary how much we've had to think.
And if I kill everything...
If you kill everything, you win.
Then you don't get your battle line units left. You've got 1, 2, 3 battle line.
I've got 3 battle line units.
But if I tag them, they can't lift up.
Correct.
So I might need
12-inch, well, 11-inch charge.
But if the tank tags them, they then can't lift up.
You're correct.
I don't want to move the tank.
Right.
Because if I move the tank, you'll lift them up.
Yes.
So it's got to be a charge whatever distance. This game, man.
It's, we need a cup of tea. Anyway, let's go on to shoot phase.
So here come the Eradicators.
Yes.
The brown ones are the multi-melter sitting on 4s.
Shooting my Librarian squad.
That Librarian has really pissed me off. So,
except for when he rolled that 1.
Yeah, that was funny. So let's melt him.
Okay.
So those ones hit.
You've got Oath.
And I've got Oath.
Okay, drop 2 of them there.
So these will wound on 3s. I don't get re-rolls because I don't think your Librarian counts as a vehicle. And that is not my dice.
Is that just 2 wounds?
That's just 2 wounds on your end rolls.
Only 2 wounds. 2 4-up and vulnerable saves. And make them both.
Wow. Let's get the Apothecary in there. He misses, I can re-roll.
Hits. Doesn't wound.
And actually, I've just realised
yes.
I've got lethals and sustained, so I might need to go back and have a quick look.
Yes. So you had 3 lethal and sustained.
Yep.
So the 3 lethals you only wounded twice, so one of them I get another save against, which I do. And then you got 3 sustained.
On 3s.
Which...
Of course, I get 1 more through.
Another wound. And I fail that save, and it is
6 damage without being in range.
1
Brilliant.
damage, and you don't have the CP to re-roll it. Oh no! So the tank shooting at these Terminators here.
No, this is a dice game, right?
It is a dice game.
Here we go. Yeah. Hitting on 2s, I can re-roll 1 of them.
Both hit.
Wounding on 2s, I can re-roll 1 of them.
Snake eyes. 1 wound.
There you go.
4-up and vulnerable save. I make the 4-up and vulnerable save.
Right, and let's get the chaff guns in.
All the chaff. We did the piddly guns and the Judiceer firing back over his shoulder. No further wounds caused on the Terminators. We found a gun. The Lion with his big plasma is shooting at the Oath of Moment target, so we can get the reroll. He hits both of the times.
I don't think it does anything, but I'll check in a minute.
And it wounds once. And I need a 4-up and vulnerable save on that, which I make again. And that's the end of the shooting phase. We've got some charges now. Where would you like to start? How far is that?
So it's just under 10. So we'll be a 9-inch charge.
Okay. Eradicators make a 10-inch charge. Eradicators charging.
Do you remember?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Last game with your Immortal meta.
Yes.
And your Immortal charge.
Close combat Immortals are a thing.
Close combat Eradicators.
Are they?
You just watch this space.
Okay.
The Lion is going to... I can't risk it. You have to do a 4-inch charge into just the Dread Knight.
That's an 11. The Lion makes the charge. So you're hitting and wounding with the shooting not so great, but your
charge rolls are good.
Charge roll is good. Judiceer needs like a 6. That's a 10. He gets in there. Yeah, your charge rolls are very good. Talking about good charge rolls, this is 11-inch charge by the Assault Deathwing Knights in the backfield, and that's a snake eyes. Okay.
I'm going to do the tank because I want to try and stop you lifting up.
Jumping up again, yeah. And that's a 4. Are you 5 away? I think you look 5 away. Dude, you're outside 5.
Outside 5.
That wasn't a successful charge.
Look, if I can kill that,
yes,
it's a win.
Okay.
Okay? It doesn't matter.
You've got to bring it down.
I've got to bring it down.
Yes.
And Judiciar,
yes.
because he's killed a character,
yes.
gets an extra attack.
Does he?
2s.
Yes. 2 1s there.
Of course.
Okay.
Wounding on 5s, but a 6 will be a dev. And will kill you.
There's a 6.
Does it explode?
Well, he's a vehicle. He deadly demises on a 6.
Oh no, the poor lion!
D3.
D3.
D3 on the Judiciar, who is uninjured so far. He takes 3 wounds.
Okay.
D3 on the lion, who's got a feel no pain right against this.
He does.
He takes 1 wound.
Oh, 50-50 chance of staying alive.
And the lion falls.
Yeah.
The explosion took out one of my Terminators as well. Say that again.
So, when you make a charge,
yes,
even if your charge target's not there, you can still select that unit.
Yes.
So I could have selected him, piled in,
and hit the Terminators, and potentially wipe them out as well.
And that would got me another one on no prisoners.
Yeah.
But as it happens, it's all going to come down to, can I kill both those units with my melee guys?
Well, let's do close combat eradicators for the win. Right, you got 6 that can fight. They got 3 attacks each. Lethal sustained with the apothecary is still a thing. Edit. Lethal sustained is definitely not a thing. It only counts for ranged weapons. They're hitting on 3s, but at least they're re-rolling everything because you need it. Because it's Oath of Moment, and that was a terrible dice roll.
I'm burning these dice.
Yeah. And that's much better.
5s to wound. Just need all of them to wound.
Okay. Just 3. 2 up saves.
The dream is dead.
I'm good. I fight back. Right, fighting back with a Limmy with his Nemesis Force weapon. He hits on 2s and he is strength 6, so he wounds on 4s and doesn't do anything.
Oh, you got my dice for once.
And the Grey Knights that are with him will hit on 3s, and these are strength 6 as well, so they'll wound on 4s and no wounds whatsoever.
Brilliant. 1
big slap fest in the corner. And at the end of turn 5, you bring it down, you get some points for no prisoners. So at the end of your turn 5, you finish on 39 points, and I've already got 40. And because I score at the end of the turn, there's absolutely no reason not to pick up the Terminators that were on that middle objective there.
Put them on your linchpin.
And then in my turn, what I do is deep strike them in down here. I drew, extend battle lines, and bring it down. To get extend battle lines, you need to hold on to your home objective and one in no man's land, which I'm not doing. And to bring it down, it means kill that tank, which I'm not doing either.
Okay.
But I will end up getting 5 points for this one, and 3 points for this one over here.
All the way around. But
3 points and 5 points for that one there. And then I have got a battle line unit in your deployment zone, and there are no battle line units on the table. You don't have any battle line units on the table, which gives me an extra 20 points for War of Attrition. And for the first time on the channel, I played Grey Knights. And for the first time on the channel, I've managed to pull off a secret mission. And somehow I won.
100% win rate.
This is the way the world ends. We added up all the things, put on the painting standard. Final score for the Grey Knights of 78 points to 49 for the Dark Angels. If I hadn't got that secret mission, 58 to 49, so there'd have only been 9 points in it, and maybe if the Lion had killed that Nemesis Dreadnought a turn earlier, then there'd have been a lot more danger, horrible things down here. He could have dealt with the Terminators and perhaps dealt with that unit over there a bit more effectively. I have to say, though, that that made my brain ache a little bit, but you're a gorgeous opponent. Thanks for coming down.
I really enjoyed it.
I was terrified of your list at the start. I saw Azrael, I saw the Lion, I saw the unit of Deathwing Knights, which still haven't been touched. I saw the Sword Brethren. They were a problem as well.
Inner Circle Companions.
Inner Circle Companions.
Or Sword Brethren, Dante.
Yeah. Sanguinary Guard, those guys.
I think what really helped you was right at the start, your missions brought you into my deployment zone.
It did, yeah.
And because it brought you into my deployment zone, it meant you killed my battle line unit early.
Yes, because they were on the objective.
Because they were on the objective with Azrael.
Yeah.
Had you not done that, and I don't think you would have done that had it not been for the missions telling you to do that.
I agree, yes.
Then my battle line unit would have stayed alive a lot longer, I would have killed more stuff. You'd have had less stuff later in the game to try and take them out.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that they survived all that firepower.
That was a lot of multi-melter shots. They should be gone.
The fact your baby carrier survived all that melee attack and firepower.
Yeah.
Funny things. Mistakes were made. My Deathwing Knights. I needed to clear home objective, the linchpin.
Well, they did. They came wrecking through. They made the charge. They wiped out the thing. They wiped off the death. They did clear away. But then, yeah.
But then they didn't really do much else after that because you just disappeared into the mists every time.
Yes.
This thing, the tank, because then you've got 2 big shots and you've effectively got a 50-50 chance of ignoring whatever damage it does to you with your invulns.
And then I can put one back in as well. He didn't have any choice targets. If I had a couple more tanks, a Rhino or 2 or things like that, then he would have come into his own. But my list was very infantry heavy.
Yeah, same with the Eradicators. They didn't. The only choice target they had, and you played it really, really well by kind of keeping it hidden in these ruins. So he could. I mean, he got 1 shot off at the start, didn't he, when it first appeared?
Yeah.
Did nothing.
Yeah.
The Eradicators managed to get 3 shots into him. Did nothing.
Well, I must say, thank you for allowing me to play the Swift Action special mission as well, because that got me a few points.
It got you a few points.
But at 78 to 49, I don't think it changed the game that much. What did change the game is I've really abused the battle line rule of 1 thing.
You did, yeah, which is really clever, because you know, you only allowed to take 1 thing except battle line.
At Throne of Skulls?
At Throne of Skulls.
Is that all their things? You've been a
No. This is a Highlander rule, it's
right.
called. So every Throne of Skulls has different sort of requirements. This particular one had the rule of 1, Highlander rules.
Yeah.
But you can take 3 of each battle line data sheet.
Yeah.
And you've looked at your army.
Yeah.
And go, well, actually, I can take 3 of that and 3 of that, and they're good units.
Do you know where it came from?
Go on.
It's like if I brought 3 of one and 3 of the other, that's 2 data sheets instead of 6 data sheets because I'm doing Grey Knights for the first time. It's like 1 minute. That was one of the reasons for doing battle line in this thing when he said, hey, let's do rule of 1. I think that's a really cool idea. But if I try on my Grey Knights today, then I don't have to remember as much as I did. And it turns out it's really good in the Highlander event.
Yeah, I mean, they're less killy. So I've fought against Grey Knights before, and they had 3 baby carriers. They had a Paladin squad.
Yeah, they're the upgraded Terminators.
And they were really, really killy.
Yeah.
Yours was less killy, but more jumpy up and downy, more battle liney, more scory. You had lots of action units.
Yeah.
You know, the advance and action, fall back and action really, really helped. But to be fair, this is a list I've practiced. It's a list I went 4-1 at a tournament with. And you've played your Grey Knights for the first time in 10th and managed to beat it. So,
well, I am a tactical genius. I won this tournament once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the No Retreat Legend Champ 21.
Only 3 years ago.
It's it's 100% win record at GTs.
100% win record with Grey Knights?
100% win record, yes. Yeah. That was a thing. It was a lovely get. I enjoyed myself, though.
I really, really enjoyed that.
I think Grey Knights, when you're not filming, will probably be a little bit easier than when I am filming, because I'm thinking about 5 different things when the camera's on. But yeah, that was really good fun. I was horrified of your list. But it turns out if you run away all game, you can maybe win.
Yeah, when I'm bringing mostly melee, and every time I get close to you, I think what I should have done is just tried for a lot more 9-inch charges.
Yeah.
Rather than try and get closer charges. I tried to press as many close charges as possible, so you do pick 1 unit up.
Yeah.
Like there was one point where you had to choose your Dread Knight or your...
Librarian. And actually off camera what I did first up is I picked up that thing and then while you were moving stuff around I remembered and looked at the cards and thought, oh no, 1 minute, it's 5 points for assassinate, 2 points for bring it down, so I'll do the other way around. Yeah, you kept that in your hand for 3 turns.
I know. So you know, I think in future against Grey Knights, I mean I did do a few moves over here where I didn't move because I knew I was within 9 inches.
Yeah.
And over there I did it because I knew I was in 9 inches. The lion didn't move the second time.
Yeah.
Because I knew what you'd be able to do.
So teaching moment, stay beyond 9.
Stay beyond 9, but then 9-inch charges, even with a CP, that's less than 50-50 chance of making it. So
I'm playing Sultan tomorrow. He's bringing a new list.
Of?
And I'm thinking, I can't really say.
Okay.
Because but you see, the thing is, I think
you need to try this list again, or Grey Knights again, because I think the more you play it, the more it will become second nature to you.
It's against his Death Company. And he's running the Death Company from the new codex for the first time.
Well, the new detachment.
And if I did a new training level mission with him, and I start disappearing all across the table, I'll just annoy the crap out of him. He won't like it.
He deserves it.
He won't. He doesn't deserve it.
Look, how many times has he played and he's been beating you, right?
He no, I can't.
And then he just keeps on going and keeps. He never relents. He never lets up. You need to crush him.
I can't recall a battle report where Sultan has beaten me ever. I won this tournament once. I won a trophy once. Oh, I just know. See, you liked the shenanigans going on, and I quite like the shenanigans that you were pulling the shenanigans, because those sorts of layers in 40k make the game very interesting. But Sultan, if I played a shenanigan list against him, he might throw them out the window and not. He likes a proper straight up brawl. So Grey Knights come with a warning: only play them against awesome opponents.
No, they're not Gene Stealer cults. That's something.
Yeah.
You've not got all their shenanigans.
Yeah. Maybe when he does the Dark Angels one where he can pick them up and drop them down all over the place, I'll play Grey Knights again. Okay. And we'll out-drop each other.
Yeah. I mean, I had two. I had my Scouts and my Assassin. He could bring Scouts and Assassins if he wants to.
He could. He
probably won't.
I imagine most of his army will be gold, though. Anyway, that was lovely. Thanks for coming down. We do hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.